It's very confusing. Diane Abbott, not a Labour MP, independent still for Hackney North and Stoke Newington, having been elected as a Labour MP for, 30-odd years. She got suspended, obviously, for making a blatantly open, not just racist, but stupid remark about how Jewish people don't experience racism. They experience prejudice the same way as someone who's ginger does. I mean, give over. Put your can of mojito down, love, and pay attention. So she got suspended. Investigation going on. It hasn't been closed after all this time. Turns out, yesterday morning, we discovered that it has been closed, and the investigation had been over and done with last December. This was news to Diane Abbott, we understood. And then we're told she has got the Labour whip back. So she's now sitting as a Labour MP again. However, we then hear this morning she might be sitting as a Labour MP, but she's been barred from standing as a Labour candidate in her seat at the next election. And now, in the last few moments, Keir Starmer has said, out on the campaign trail, no decision has been taken, and she's not been barred from standing as a Labour candidate. There's definitely been a communication breakdown at some point. Do you think it's just Diane Abbott stirring things up?
Maybe.
Or do you think that, look, this is classic Sir Keir Starmer, sitting on the fence, flip-flopping around. Can you flip-flop around when you're on a fence? I think so.
You can try. I mean, I don't want to see him try, actually.
I don't
That's the
want
most
to
boring
see this.
thing I can think. It's not great. I mean, the NEC has said that the decision will actually be made next Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday, rather. So she's got a little bit of time to wait. But it is then the question is, has she jumped the gun? Has she been given the wrong bit of information? Has she done this to try to apply pressure so that, she can kind of rally support and people start going, isn't she being treated disgracefully?
Yeah.
So it's difficult to know. But I would say if you're airing your dirty laundry in public like this, actually it is in Sir Keir Starmer's interest to not have you stand, because you're making it clear you're going to be trouble.
Yeah.
I understand why. She's been a Labour MP for a long time. She would obviously like to continue to be a Labour MP. I don't think that she's wrong for wanting to continue to do it, but it is well known, actually, that she is very gaffe-prone. She's not going to become less gaffe-prone the longer she stays in Parliament. Is she actually an asset to the Labour Party anymore? I would argue no. Obviously, there are other people who disagree.
And if your campaign is that we're changed or we ain't Corbyn Easters.
But here's the key cheerleader.
Yeah, who would have been? She would have been Home Secretary. It's absolutely terrifying. Oh, by the way, just breaking news. Sir Davies is launching. Apparently, they're launching one of their campaigns. I lose track. They seem to all be launching them constantly. He's on the campaign trail today in Wales, but he's on a bike today and supposed to be on a paddleboard. I was
going to say.
Yesterday, while we were on air, I had the sight of him in a wetsuit on a paddleboard, and then he proceeded to fall off some 5 times. I thought that was rather, weirdly, quite a clever campaign move, because actually people did notice and talk about it. I'm not sure it makes him look prime ministerial. However, when you're a smaller party, you need to get the notoriety.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for Boris, didn't it? Getting stuck on a zip wire. Actually, everybody went, aha, what a laugh.
I don't think he deliberately did. But again, some of his former advisors, Jo Tanner pointed out, she worked for somebody, she worked for Boris Johnson for years, but he was London Mayor and others, that actually he was quite prone to a little bit of falling over or something, because he knew that would get the pictures.
Would seek the calamity, because actually the calamity, everybody went, aha, what a hoot. But I mean, Ed Davey, he does need actually people to take photographs of him, because otherwise you'd forget that he existed.
Forget.
Yeah, because apart from that, it's just the post office scandal.
Also, by the way, and I'm not even joking, the SNP leader, genuinely, what's his name again? He's the bald
now you
bloke.
put me on the...
No, exactly. No, I'm serious. I know, exactly.
I've got the name Kevin Finity in my head,
not-
but
that
that's not
is-
his name.
no,
He's
that
a
is
character
not-
in The Sopranos. I don't know what...
No, genuinely. Is it Nicol? Is Jake Nichols? No, I'm not joking.
If you do know who the leader of the SNP is, please text in.
Please text call in. And I'm not being disrespectful in any way to people in Scotland who are listening. I'm really not. I'm just saying he's such an unprevious... He's a former...
This is our job, and we don't remember who he is.
He's a former leader of the party. He's former deputy leader under Sturgeon. But he's so utterly forgettable.
This is actually quite bad, isn't it?
No, I'm serious. I'm thinking, I've got a name in my head. Is it Nicholson? No, people are just looking at me blankly.
No, Nicholson's someone else.
Everyone's just looking at me blankly.
Nicholson wasn't he the former leader at Westminster?
No, Swinney.
John Swinney,
There you
that's
are,
it.
John Swinney.
There we go.
But
Swinney,
isn't that
Finity.
terrible?
I
don't know where I got the Nicholson from, genuinely. But I'm thinking Nicola, aren't I? But genuinely, but this is the thing, and so much part of campaigns is actually, especially small parties, although SNP obviously the biggest party in Scotland at the current time, that actually it's just about name recognition. It's just about being talked about, and that's what people want. Well, we're talking about Diane Abbott. You've been getting in touch. Let's get some more of your messages. She says, this is Michelle. She says, I'm no fan of hers by any stretch of the imagination, but why return the whip and then ban her from running? Would this stop her running as an independent or something? Of course, it wouldn't stop her running as an independent.
No, it wouldn't.
If she chose not to, if she got the whip back, but whether she would want to leave Parliament, and it may well be that she doesn't feel she could actually run as an independent, would she want to leave Parliament after all those years in the sort of Labour movement? And even though many might support her views on the left of the party, there's that loyalty to the organisation, isn't there?
Yeah, I think if she stays in the party and decides not to run, I think that she'd end up being rewarded with a peerage at some point.
Yeah,
I really do, and I think that's.
But only if you shut up.
Well, exactly. That's the deal that she's possibly being offered. If you make trouble and
if
you
you're
stand,
a lefty, why would you want? I really object to all these people. It's like John Prescott. He said, he just totally disapproved of the House of Lords, and yet it was quite particular to take a peerage. And you know why he said he'd take it? Our Pauline. He said, our Pauline wanted to be Lady Prescott, and frankly, she was long suffering given these shenanigans that took place on John Prescott's desk that didn't involve working but involved his secretary's backside.
I was going to say that's why Boris Johnson's father deserved a place in the House of Lords, because he had to put up with being Boris Johnson's father. That was the best recommendation that you could think of.
Although perhaps he is the person he is because he was
responsible.
Yeah. Let me go to some more of these messages. We're just yapping now. This is on Diane again. Joe says, if she's back now, I see no reason why she couldn't stand for it. She intended to announce it, but the party made their announcement first. Looks to me like a PR stunt. Bring Abbott back and announce that she will not be allowed to stand to show Labour has changed. Ruth says no loss to Parliament if Abbott doesn't stand and loses her seat. But Dave says, when I woke up this morning to hear the news headlines of a black woman getting the whip and then being thrown out of her party, I thought, blimey, has time really changed? Dave, I'm going to vote no on that one. I'm going to vote no on that one.
Why does it always have to be through that prism?
Exactly. And this is the thing. You see, this is the thing. When you, really. No. I'm going to do a teacher style. I'm disappointed in you for that.